Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Phoenix Sim Sport. We are here tonight on the Magione track for round 5 of MX5 Cup in season 15. It will be me, HDE, and Amir co-commentating tonight. Say hello to the audience, Amir.
Thank you very much. It's been honestly having just recently been here in Phoenix Sim Sports with the Le Mans series back over. I've kept a very close eye on for the MX5s, and the lightweight cars are gonna be here on this very magnificent track here in Italy. In fact, one of the two Italian tracks that we have there on the calendar, and it's gonna provide some very good racing here. Not a lot of track service here, so that means that qualifying is gonna be all the more important here.
Yeah, as we are looking at the championship standings briefly on the stream, Xiaomi currently leads by about 132 points over Alex, so he's got a very big lead, but partially because he's one of the fastest drivers on the grid, partially because both Alex and Bergie in P2 and P3 have missed a run so far. And the driver in P4, Alan, will miss today by the look of things because he is not here tonight. But anyway, the qualifying is already underway. We have Leila Petralia currently with the fastest time over 121.519. In practice, it was really close. I think the top three was separated by about a tenth and a half between Leila, deep in the sand, aka Bergie, as well as Marcel Miku. So it's very likely that Post-it will be coming out of one of those three as Leila gets very oversteery coming out of turn 5 onto the back straight, and she, I should say, teleports to the pits.
Yeah, I think she'll be probably going out very soon again to try and maximize her time there. A bit of carnage, I think I see on board with her as she's trying to start for her outlap. But for now, as it stands, about a tenth away from second place has been very good for Layla. And honestly, she's keeping up from that momentum that she had from last race.
Yeah, as Bergie now goes up to second place, just 35 thousandths away from Layla. So yeah, Marcel Miku also improves to fourth. But the fastest time in practice was a 21.3, so all of these drivers still have a bit of margin to improve in the final 4 minutes of qualifying.
Looking here from Miku, though, Miku has gotten every single race win from race 1 all the way up to race 4, so a bit in the mix of the mid-pack for 4th, but as it stands, he's in pretty good position in comparison to the cars up ahead in the reverse grid for the second race. Here in Italy, but expect a stronger performance from him as we've seen during practice. So I think we're going to see him break up a bit further, although he's going a little bit slow now from his second attempt.
Yeah, and Bergie currently improves by just 35,000 after the first sector. So if he stays the same, he's going to be setting an identical lap time to Leila Petralia. But let's see if he can deal with the final chicane well through turn 9. Turn 10 of the right hand, there is a lot of the inside curve, and you want to be aggressive in these cars. And they run to the line, it's gone slightly wide in the final corner. Let's see the lap time. It's not counted as... Oh, it...
Marcel proves he's a tenth faster than Layla, and that's really big.
That is. So the top three now separated by 61 thousandths of a second. I was just about to say we had 4 different pole sitters this season so far in MX5. If Layla takes pole tonight, it will be 5 different pole sitters from 5. But now Marcel Miku is looking to take his second pole of the season.
I know Miku has done extraordinarily well, as we mentioned before, but this is going to be one of his toughest challenges yet against people that we've seen really capable of taking pole position here. But with about 2 minutes left to go, it's going to be about 1.5 laps left here for the remaining drivers. So it's anyone's guess as to see who will take pole, though.
Yeah, a very good.
He's actually improved 1/10 faster in the first sector for Miku, so he might even go even faster. Need to keep an eye on him for the second sector.
As Leila Petralia comes across the line, let's first see whether she can improve. Yeah, she does!
Wow!
Yeah, wow,
Incredible. About 500s away, but let's pay attention now to the Miku navigating through the final 2 corners now, a little bit sideways. Oh no, he almost spins it. He does spin it, and what was looking to be 2/10 faster, he's lost it. And look at this, he's lost 2 positions in the place of it. Wow!
He's trying to spin around, and he does, so he will get 1 final lap. But yeah, Alex has now moved up to 3rd, and Bergie up to 2nd, so Miku is still down in 4th.
incredible there. I was saying before with Bergie to get himself up to second, and look at that gap. It's almost about 5 hundredths away from Layla's time. And looking to be home with here for Pedraglia. I think it could be hers if she doesn't prove here through the sector here. Have to just keep an eye on her. I don't see her delta improving from the first sector, but I'm just keeping a close eye on here. We've got about 40 seconds left to go. Very exciting.
Yeah, Layla is on the outlap, so she will have one final go at the end of this outlap as Maverick has binged it somewhere. That's coming out of turn 2. So he will finish no higher than 6. Burge is not improving on this lap, but he should get another lap. He's got a bit of traffic in front of him. Good news for him is the traffic is Alex, so also a very quick driver, so Burge shouldn't be affected really. In fact, Alex may even provide a reference to him as Burge comes across the line. Can he improve in the final sector? Yes, he can! He was a tenth slower in sector 1. He's gained a tenth and a half in sector 2. So now Burge sets the fastest lap of the day with a 121.287. And Marcel
Incredible
Miku,
there, and that's going to be qualified.
Yeah, he doesn't improve. He's 4 tenths slower, so Marcel Miku will start P4 most likely. That's not ideal for the championship leader, even though he's got such a big championship lead.
Here we go. Scoot comes around through the final corner. I don't think it's I'm not sure if there's going to be any improvement here for the man in 5th place. It's about 3 chances between himself and Miku if he could put anything to dive in. A bit too much on the grass. Coming through the final corner. And yeah, it's not an improvement. Still 1.8 seconds on his
Layla
last lap. Let's
Layla has, wow. Yeah, she's at a big moment. She caught it, but that's gotta be time lost, you must think. I don't think she can take pole back unless she does something magical in the final chicane. She's gone slightly deep through turn 9, and her line looks to be a bit off, and she's gone off in the final corner. And that's it. So it's down to Alex, who's pitted, and Burgie, who doesn't need to do the final lap. He is on pole.
Yep, he does. He's just parked it at the finish straight because he's know that he's got it for him. And phenomenal there from the British driver to claim pole position here for the 5th round of the MX5 Cup. Very, very exciting to see what's going to be in store for the drivers.
Yeah, and thank you, Juho, for the 15 bits. I don't know why he's put 15 1-bit, but that works. And Juho will start P8 tonight. He's a bit lonely here. He's 4 tenths away from the car in front and 1.7 seconds faster than the car behind. Might be a lonely race for the Finn. Yeah.
I know, and Glenn Slack as well, 3 tenths away from Andrew Taggart, who set himself sits in 6, and he's about 2 tenths away from not quite sure who Scott is, but Scott making that provisional line between the midfield and the front runners, with about 2 tenths separating between Miku and Sandeep Burgie. So really, anyone's guess is what we've seen for practice, what we've seen during here qualified. Anyone's guess is here to see who will come up on top. But I know I must say, really, really interested to see how the rest of the field will pan out. Just also looking outside from Brian Garcia, the Lithuanian, over in 10th, and Filov also in 11th. So that completes for 11-car grid that's going to be here in the MX5s here today.
Yeah, it's actually a 12-car grid. Leto didn't even set a lap time in qualifying, but he was about 11 seconds slow in practice, so he's probably going to be trundling at the back of the grid as Juho sends in another, oh god, how many is that? 25 bits, I think. And he says, guys, I'm just not waiting to get touched without consent. Well, it depends on whether you dive bomb into turn 1. But yeah, we're on the grid. Do you have a teleport button? Because you need to go into the pits, Amir.
Don't I think I do.
Okay.
I'll see if I do.
Yeah, if you don't, you can just return to the pits after the lights are, gone.
Yeah, that's fine. I am still learning my ways, you can tell, ladies and gentlemen.
It's okay. So yeah, as per usual...
It was the same thing with Le Mans Ultimate. It was the same thing with here.
Yeah, as per usual, it will be two 20-minute races. The first race, the grid is set by qualifying order. The second race will be top 10 results from race 1 reversed. As I am currently on board with Marcel Miku because he is one of the fastest starters. He's absolutely flashing Leila Petralia before the lights even go out with all the 6 red lights. And away we go. It's a brilliant start by Marcel Miku. He's almost already alongside Alex, but it's also a great start from Leila Petralia, who I know has the H-shift pattern, and she is down the inside of deep in the sand Bergie, and Bergie has to make way, and Leila cutting the curb. She's gone slightly loose, so Bergie will get a run down into turn 2 on the inside. Marcel Miku breaks way deeper around the outside and getting the cutback on Leila Petralia. It's a brilliant cutback from the championship leader, but Leila trying to push his case. And Marcel Miku still gets the inside at turn 3, but she's on a lot of curb, going around the outside of Leila Petralia. What a move! And Leila goes spinning almost. And she recovers. Where is she? Rejoining back alongside Alex. So she's back down to 3rd, maybe 4th. And look at the lead Bergie already has, who's trying to break the slipstream, interestingly.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for him to do that. But look at this, it's almost going to be a 3 wide over in the back between these guys here for P2, who's going to come out on top. Laid out a bit too much on the grass, has to unfortunately concede. But look at this down behind in 5th, almost trying to look down for the inside into Layla. But Layla has to be defensive and hold on for now. But Sandy will be absolutely thrilled with that. He's got a very comfortable lead and a very cushy one. In fact, Layla's in the pits.
I think she must have jumped a start. That's why she got such a brilliant start. That must be for jump start. And yeah, so her race has gone from pretty okay to absolutely terrible. So yeah, now she has a big recovery job to do because a drive-through penalty here is going to cost you a lot of time. And she comes out last, I guess? Actually, no. She's still ahead of some drivers.
She's not last, she's 10th at the moment, but that is still a far cry from being in the podium contention where she was previously before. At least, given what we've seen during practice and qualifying, she'll be able to get some positions as she ranks up the field, so do keep an eye on her as well as she goes through there. But that means that it's going to get lonely for this battle in the lead because Sandy will only have to worry about more or less Miku and Alex behind rather than just Layla involved. But then also think about the car behind as well can also be invited into this 4-car battle now instead of 5 for the lead.
It's a great run from Maverick, who's trying to go around the outside of the Cavone corner, but she's gone deep. He's braked too late, and he's on the grass, and he couldn't make the move stick. But luckily for him, Juho was too far away to take advantage of Maverick's mistake. So everybody stays in order as they did, as Leila Petralia has already caught up and passed Ramshon. So up to P9 goes the recovering Italian.
Yep, good move there between these two for the battle of P5. It's just, again, whenever the leaders are just so far up ahead, have to make your own fights as well. But think about with Sopanen as well, who will also be involved in this 3-car fight over for 5th. So really, anyone's favour.
Yeah, slightly missing the apex is the Dutch driver in P5. So Maverick once again closes in the first sector. He will probably get another run on the back straight this lap. Let's see if he can spot his braking zone better, unlike he made a mistake last lap at Cavone corner, aka turn 6. He needs to set up the run coming out of turn 5. This time he's slightly further away than last lap, so maybe this distance is not good enough to make a move into turn 6.
Nope, just needs to keep an eye on the slipstream and just stay behind Glenn as he can. He almost has a look for it, or maybe a way to dummy him, but Glenn does not really fall for it and just holds his line down for turn 6. So yeah, I think Maverick was just trying to set him off a little bit. Hasn't quite worked, but he's still applying a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and he's trying to basically use a wider entry to gain more momentum and get the exit speed. He's got a better line through the chicane. You can see his car is much more planted than Glenn Selk up ahead. This might be a chance in turn 1, but turn 1 is not really such a hard braking zone, as Glenn Selk still feels the need to defend the inside line. Maverick will try to go around the outside, but that normally doesn't work here. He's going to try to go for the cutback, but no, not enough momentum.
Nope. No, absolutely not. Again, the limited track surface means that you really have to nitpick your overtaking zones, but also gives all the more advantage to the defender that can use all the track swift to be able to fend off from attackers like Andrew behind Glenn. Oh, as he's looking down almost at the exit of the first sector, coming for another corner now, and Glenn has a bit of a better entry. But Maverick at least will have the slipstream, and maybe the move down to turn 6 is looking all more favourable for the Irishman.
Yeah, this is a chance. Glenn Selk will defend the inside line, so Maverick is forced to go around the outside again. Can he spot the braking zone this time? Trying to go around the outside, he's gone deep again! And, well, not as deep as last time, but still, he can't make the move.
No, try and look down for the outside. The outside is is not as grippy as the inside liners, which is why Glenn exactly hogged down through that line and paid off very well dividends. But look at this, Maverick tried to make for a move on Glenn. Yuho almost locks for the inside for P6, but hasn't quite materialized yet for him. He just fends off for now, and these two will continue to fight for another lap.
Sand to the inside at turn 1, the door was open, but it's now closing. Maverick slides coming out of turn 1. And he's going to try to go around the outside of turn 2, that doesn't work. That must be a cutback, as Shuho almost runs into the back of Maverick, because Maverick was trying to set up a cutback.
I don't think Yuho was expecting Maverick to cut down for the inside line, but luckily the Finnish driver just about on the brakes and very alert. But look at this, with the Glenn defending from Maverick so heavily, it's allowed for Yuho to catch up to these guys for P5. But poor exit from Yuho means that it's just going to be between Glenn and Andrew once again down for turn 6. I think it might pan out the same way as we've seen before. And Glenn holding down for the middle line, and Andrew looks down for the outside line. How's it going to hand out? Oh, Andrew's learned a bit, holds on to the inside line, almost looks for a switchback, but not enough speed to carry through. And Glenn will have it for now.
Oh, they've got a blue flag car up ahead. This could change things. Where is the blue flag car gone? He's going to the gravel, so that's okay.
Off track.
Yeah, but all of this battling means after passing Brian Garcia last lap, Leila Petralia is only less than 5 seconds behind this fighting group. If they keep up this ding-dong battle, Leila Petralia will be at the back of this group very soon. Maverick round the outside. Oh, locks up almost. That's a bit of rear locking, and he's lost all the momentum. But Juho can't get the run.
No, he can't. I think that's just because he was way too far back coming into the first corner. Otherwise, it really would have paid off for Yuho. But Maverick's so opportunistic there, such a late move. And I think with that loss of braking momentum, couldn't really cement the overtake down into turn 1. But he's all over the back of Glenn.
Yeah, he's clearly faster, but this tight Magione track just means you can't really overtake, because the slipstream means these MX5 cars are not that strong. And Maverick has got another great run on the back straight, but if Glenn Selk, beg your pardon, defends the inside line, there's nothing Maverick can do. He's gonna try it again.
Whoa! That's so close. That is so close. And again, Maverick just has to back out. There's just not enough grip to carry his MX5 through the corner, it seems. But Glenn has absolutely perfected his track placement down to a T to hold on to a very faster car behind as Andrew goes sideways, and this will allow for Yuho to go side by side to make the move down into turn 1. Here we go, and Yuho, I think, will definitely do it, holding down onto the inside line for turn 1. Again, not enough grip as we see Glenn goes a little bit sideways, but Yuho gets himself up into 6th.
Yeah, now let's see whether Yuho has the pace to challenge Glenn Selk. Maverick was clearly faster, but there was no way he can make the move, because even if he did hang around the outside... Oh, Marcel Miku has disconnected. Marcel Miku has disconnected. Oh, no. The championship leader has faced internet issues for the 2nd week in a row. He had internet issues last week at Brad's Hatch.
Oh dear, and that is Sandeep's biggest challenge evaporated here in race 1, which means that with the 4-second gap between himself and Alex, it means that is surely his race to lose now for the British driver. But attention's here towards to the back, it's still looking fine as it seems all round. I don't think there's much quite movements yet to be made. I think the field is slowly starting to relax just for the time being, until the closing stages at least.
Yeah, so just on the last lap, actually Marcel Miku was 4/10 of a second faster than Bergie. So the gap at the front was down to 7/10 of a second before the disconnection. But Juho getting all kinds of crossed up on the final corner. Maverick has the run. Will he try to make the move? No. Oh, blue flag cut. That's why he didn't make the move. Why is he right on the apex of turn 1? That was not the best way to let faster drivers through, but I guess he didn't really have a choice if he was already there, because you don't really go that time. Yeah.
In the background, Layla has actually catched up to Maverick, Soppinen, and Glenn, so that means that she has got a lot of work for her to make if she wants to recover up into P4. Of course, with the reverse grid, it means that in a better position than at least Sandeep and Alex that are currently at the front runners at the moment. And given that the pace that we've seen from her qualified, I think she'll be a high contender for a race win here in the second race here.
Yeah, definitely. But also, I think, well, let's see if she can make the move on these 3 cars ahead, because her lap time will be about a second faster than these 3 drivers. So let's see if she can actually make an overtake, because overtaking are very difficult tonight on this circuit.
Yuho, I think just looking a bit off the racing line, and Maverick again. Not enough track width, can't be able to capitalize. He's got a bit sideways and loses that momentum to pressure Yuho. But gotta feel for Glenn though. The man that was looking sure to be overtaken by Andrew is kind of in clean air as Yuho goes sideways. And that is relieving the pressure of the Dutchman. And again, the Irishman trying to look through a move on the Finnish driver to try and get behind Glenn and make an overtake. With this time is now for P4. In fact, Juho goes off the racing line. Yeah, allows for Maverick to go.
Yeah, clearly Juho doesn't have the pace to put pressure on Glenn up ahead, so he's let Maverick through and hoping that Maverick can challenge Glenn and maybe Juho can pick up pieces from the battle ahead. But now Maverick has a 1.5 second gap to catch up, which I think he can do to catch up. It's about how to overtake, because he hadn't overtaken once as Marcel Miku back in the server recovers up to P10, but he is a minute and a half away from P9. So yeah, I think well, he will start from pole in race 2, so he should be able to drive away in that race if his internet holds on.
Top 10's the reverse grid, or is it the top 15?
It's the top 10.
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, it's a top
10. Yeah, so he is going to be reverse pole, so yeah. I think that's going to be pretty good for the Czech driver in good contention. But seeing here with Maverick, I think Maverick is gently catching up over to Glenn up ahead. In fact, he's about 6/10 quicker in the previous lap. And yeah, you can see Soppa is indeed dropping a little bit. In fact, I think Portugalia was almost 9/10, I believe, or 7/10 quicker in the last lap than Juho was. So that means that it'll be an easy affair for Leila to make a move onto Juho Soppinen. I think that was Soppinen going a bit sideways. We just saw a bit. Yep. But look at this. Maverick now all over the back of Glenn.
Onto the back straight. I don't think he's quite close enough this lap to launch an attack. The gap is about 5/10. That's too far back. He needs the gap to be around 3.5/10 going onto the back straight to be able to launch a move. So maybe Layla can try to overtake Juho before Mav can overtake Glenn. Down into Carbone corner again. They've got another slow car ahead. That's going off into the gravel, so that's okay. Oh, and Juho has round. Where is he? He's retired. He's teleported himself back to the pits.
Huh. I mean, he was doing pretty well up until this point, so yeah. I'm pretty surprised by the fact that he's went into the pits, especially for being in the position he is, but I guess that's Layla's one less driver to worry about for her in regards to her quest to break into the top 5 as it stands. But look at this, Maverick and Glenn going to be as close as they ever been, and if Andrew can just about hold in coming out from turn 5 and just apply this gap that we've known that we can seen he has done before, then he'll surely soon make an overtake down to turn 6. The question is, he has to do the inside line, but Glenn will know that and has to hog down the inside line. So we need to think about how much speed that Maverick needs to make an overtake exist. Because here we go, here comes through the straight.
This is the closest Maverick has ever been to Glenn, but you can see Glenn defending inside early. Maverick has to switch to the outside. There's no way Glenn was leaving any room on the inside. They're now side by side into Cavone corner again, and you just can't do it around the outside. It doesn't work.
Close though, Glenn. My word, he's very good at controlling the car because known to be a little bit understeering at times. If it somehow went into the way of Andrew, it could have been a monumentous incident in our hands and could have opened the door wide open for P4. But Glenn still just about holds his line. Maverick knows that the move wasn't really cemented because the inside line is definitely the more favorable, and Glenn effectively has it from, again, incredible defensive driving as we've seen from the Dutchman. Phenomenal from him, I must say.
Yeah, Juho is actually back out on track, I think. So Marcel Miku is now up to P9. Maybe Juho wants the reverse pole. That's why he teleports. Oh, but he's now down to 11th. So that's not ideal.
I think we have Flenanov also going a bit slowly as well. So I think that's also something to be taken of note here. And look at this up attention to head between Maverick and Glenn. They're going to go once again. Glenn again holds through the inside line. And here comes Maverick looking down side by side here for turn 6 once again. Is it going to be any different than what we've seen before? Oh, Glenn has gone a bit sideways. And Maverick has the advantage heading to turn 6. Has to hold down for the inside line. Glenn can't do much about it. Oh no, Maverick doesn't go for the racing line though. And Glenn will allow to capitalize as it goes side by side for the second sector. Who will come out on top? Still going a bit side by side. Insides for Glenn. Oh, is it?
Yeah, around goes Maverick. And Layla now up to P5. But I don't think that was Glenn's fault. I think Maverick was already sliding in front of Glenn's nose before they made contact, so it's probably a racing incident. But Layla had to basically brake and lift off because there was yellow flags, but she has now made it up to 5th as she goes sideways in turn 1.
Yeah, for the fact that she was looking almost for P4, I think Maverick's Spence put a spanner in the works for Layla and halted her progression up to catch up to Glenn with just so little time to go. Nearly 2.5 minutes. I don't know what she can do here at this point to try and catch up to Glenn, but I must say, like, Glenn's done pretty good for the battle, and as you mentioned before, Andrew did definitely go sideways heading into that corner. I don't think Glenn was expected him to be sideways for that corner, and it's effectively all she wrote, which means that the closest battle that we have now on track is the battle between 2nd and 3rd as it stands.
It's actually 10th and 11th. Juho Sopanen going around the outside, and he will take P10 and the reverse pole for race 2 if he can hang on there. Yes, he can because the car behind is spun.
Hopefully we'll be able to recover from that. I know he's been pretty slow. I think it's been a pro race, but you know, still pretty good for it. About less than 2 minutes left to go, and
Layla was sideways coming out of the final corner. Mav has a run, but I don't think he's close enough. 3/10 is the gap. We're into the penultimate lap, yes. 2 laps remaining.
2 laps remaining for these two, at least, I believe. And yeah, Zambia is just fine as it stands. But Layla is catching just a little bit to Glenn ahead, but not enough with the time remaining.
No.
1.5 left to go. Just within reach of the Dutchman, but not enough to make an overtake, and again going sideways, just throwing into the corners as much as she possibly can. But the problem is, it might cost her a bit of dividends because Maverick is pressuring her behind.
Yeah, Mav has got the axle turn 5 to a T. I think every time he's got a better axle coming out of the corner, but he doesn't get enough drive to make the move into turn 6. The problem with turn 6 is it's a double right-hander, so even if you try to hang around the outside of turn 6, you're still on the outside for turn 7. And turn 8, of course, where somebody is off the track. That's probably Ramshin, but he's...
Yeah, it's actually Layla's actually catched up to Glenn, so it's gonna go for one more lap, and
Wait.
she's at least within breathing room. So there is a bit of a possibility as she goes a little bit wide coming out for the final corner, but it still looks to be a bit of a possibility. She really did put in the lap of her life here, 2/10 faster. Actually, no, way more faster. In fact, Glenn has been 3 seconds slower than her. Look at
Layla
this!
spins!
Oh, Layla goes a bit sideways!
What a
Oh, and she
spin.
recovers it just about! Oh my goodness me! And Maverick dives in for the inside! I think with lap traffic, I don't think Layla was even expecting it! Side by side! For the last lap!
Yeah, and Maverick has the inside line for turn 3, but Layla's hands around the outside should get the inside line for the next hairpin. So now Glenn can try to breathe a little bit, but he needs this exit. He's not got the exit, but the gap should be big enough, I think.
Yeah, I think so it is. Sandeep will come through the final corner. Another win into the British drivers' books, I believe. And he'll be extremely, extremely ecstatic with that. Again, a similar situation to what he did in the previous round. And he wins once again.
Yeah, that's 2 wins in a row for Deepings in the Sand AK Burgess. Alex finishes only 4 tenths ahead of Mr. Scoot in the end, so a great final 2 laps from Mr. Scoot to try to launch an attack, but into the final chicane goes P4, P5 and P6. It looks like Glenn Selk's impeccable defense will just about hang on for him for the 4th position. Maverick tries to get Layla on the line, but he couldn't. What a race.
I know, it was practically incredible. Brian Garcia, I believe, comes up through the final corner, and he will be one of the last drivers to complete his on the lead lap in 7th. And again, with Yuho stopping across the line, that means that he will be able to take pole here in race 2, and it's got a lot of work cut out with him. But Marcel Miku, in P2, he's going to be in prime contention for the win, along with Layla and Maverick, as we see. A lot of work for Sandeep and Alex that finished first and second in race 2. But fantastic races from everyone, I must say.
Yeah, especially the defense from Glenn Selk, who used all the track to try to defend, but within rules and fairly. Well, Marcel Miku was probably thinking he would be on pole and driving alone in race 2. He's now got Juho Sopana alongside him, although Juho has not shown great pace tonight, but he can still give Marcel Miku a bit of trouble in race 2.
Oop.
Oh. Yeah, so yeah, that's the end of race 1. So Burgie will now be... I'm trying to do math here. Math is not very good, but he will be just 2 points behind Alex in the championship standings. The gap between P2 and P3 coming into this round was 16 points, and by winning the race and Alex finishing P2, Burgie will gain 14 points on Alex, so the gap now is only 2 points between second and third in the championship, and they are still some 100 points away from Marcel Miku. So the chance to fight for the championship is still very tough.
Indeed, and again, think about the momentum that's with car for Sandeep that has now got 2 race wins under his belt in the last 2 races. It's going to put a lot into his favour, but at least it's good for Alex to finish on the podium, and he'll be able to continue on for this fight with Sandeep, heading to the next race and also in future races.
We got Mr. School doing donuts on the start-finish straight. That's why the session has not ticked over yet. I think he's extremely happy with his podium finish. I don't recognize his name, so it's possible he's got a podium in his debut. But
He
yeah,
does, actually. He does. He's finished 3rd, and in between Alex and Glenn, it was honestly extremely, extremely impressive for Mr. Scoot to still be able to handle throughout the field that we've seen all the battles. He's been relatively alone in regards to that benchmark that he's had set, but he did extraordinary today, I must say, to be that risk-free.
Yeah, definitely. And considering Alex is still second in the championship, he only finished less than 4 tenths behind someone who's second in the championship. Miss Scoot might be a dark horse, but now it's time to see whether he can do a similarly good job in the pack, because he will have to start from P8 in race 2.
Hard to see if he can be able to cut it through, but I think we have seen with Miku having won every. I think he has won every race. I believe at this point he has won in every single race that we've had so far. He's always managed to win. In fact, this is the first time this season that Marcel Miku has not managed to win the race one, the first race in each of the races. He's been done it from race 1 to race 4, and race 5 is the time that that streak breaks. But he's at least in prime contention to get a second race win. In fact, the last time he's done it was all the way back in the first round in the championship, and it'll be groundbreaking for the Czech driver, I must say, if he could even pull this off.
Yeah, as we are 40 seconds away from the start of race number 2. Oh, who should I go on board with? I guess, do I want to... I'm gonna go on board with
You can
Bergy.
pick.
Yeah, I want to watch the mid pack. I think because both Juho and Marcel are experienced drivers, so they shouldn't really make any contact into turn 1. It's a mid pack that's going to be absolutely chaotic going to the tight turn 1, 2, and 3. As Marcel Mico already flashing his lights, just like he did before the start of race 1, but this time he doesn't have anyone in front of him. Let's hope his internet can hold on for the duration of the race. And all 6 lights are on, and off we go. And what a start by Marcel Miku. Juho, what is that? Juho Sopanen has completely tried to cut off Marcel Miku. That doesn't work. Marcel Miku still has the inside line, and he's going to take the lead of the race. Where is Bergy? He's minding the pack, but he's still alive and up to P9.
Yuho looks out for the inside of Miku, though. Going to be going side by side for the first sector. The Finnish driver is not backing up whatsoever. But the Miku, at least, will have a better of an exit. Heading down for the second corner, though, Yuho has the inside line. But Miku has the next 2 corners inside lines, though. Side by side.
Yeah, Juho tries to hang around the outside. He's going to get a better run coming out of this corner because he was on the better line, and Marcel Miku might have to defend really, really hard into turn 6. Juho is closing, and Marcel Miku doesn't defend the inside line. Is that going to be a mistake?
We'll have to see, but look at this Maverick also down behind. Here we go, heading down for turn 6. Who's going to come out on top? It's going to be very tight. Oh, Miku gets a bit of a punt, and Juho still wasn't something.
Maverick hits Juho.
Oh my goodness me!
Marcel Miku flashes his lights in anger or whatever, but somehow they're all still going in the right direction as Lena Petrania sends it to the inside of Marcel Miku. That almost was contact, and she's lost all the momentum, and now Bergy to the inside of the final corner, and wide goes Glenn Selk. They're still alive.
Incredible here. And they were going through the time machine. Supplement still has the lead. Maverick in second. Miku demoted to third. And Pragalia up into fourth. And Sandeep 10th up to 5th.
Yeah, it's a brilliant start from the driver that won race 1, as now Alex dives to the inside of Glenn Selk. So Alex is now up into P6. He's also trying to go with Bergy's pace, and Maverick goes wide in turn 3, so Marcel Miku will get the run. Bergy, meanwhile, is trying to set up Leila Petralia on the back straight. This is all happening here on the back straight. Juho Sopanen has a 6/10 gap. Marcel Miku actually doesn't get a great run coming out of turn 5. It's Bergy who's really close to the back of Leila Petralia.
Absolutely, and maybe looking down for the inside down for turn 6 at Cavone. Not quite close enough, but enough if they want to consider. And over the back of Layla, just about breaks a bit too early. Doesn't expect for Sandeep. Sandeep almost looks for the inside down for Curva Montesprello. And then Kerrigo coming through turn 9 and then through 10 and 11 for the final 2 corners. And who's going to come out on top? It can really go any way. It seems to be that the field has stagnated at just a little bit. But this Nico over the back of Maverick and a bit of the slipstream. And ooh, Jesus me, it's really close. Stopping the provisional set time for 1:22, and I honestly can't believe it though. But such incredible racing that we've seen here with Yuho. Again, we haven't seen his pace to be that of the front runners, has allowed for the race to unleash itself here.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the debut podium finish as Marcel Mico gets sideways on the curb, Mr. Scoot has disconnected and now he's going to rejoin in P last. That's really unfortunate for Mr. Scoot, who's had a wonderful race one. But the battle must continue at the front. Layla now gets sideways coming out of turn 4, so that's going to hurt her momentum all the way down the back straight.
Yeah, but at least with a bit of the slipstream, and I think just has a little bit of a better exit than Sandeep did. Provides the cushion that she needs to still hold and retain for P4. Honestly, it can really go any of these 5 cars' way to see who's going to be the race winner here in the second race of the Italian round, the 5th round here of the MX5 Cup, of course. And Sandeep almost as close as ever, but again, Layla, early braking, Sandeep not expecting it, has to take a deviation off the line, but Marcel Miku over the back from Maverick coming for the final 2 corners. I think there's a little bit of bump there, and Miku is going to be as back to Maverick as he's close to him as he's ever going to be, heading down for turn 1.
Yeah, and Layla's problem is she is very slow in turn 6, so every time Bergie will get her wrong.
We're going
so
the
turn
outside.
7 and 8, and yeah, Marcel Miku, Maverick saw slides. Wait, is there a gap? Yes, there is. I think Marcel Miku has made a move through Maverick's mistake on the exit of turn 1.
Well, what a move there by Miku, trying to keep his winning streak alive to make it 5 in a row. Having missed his race 1 winning streak now that has ended today, that has been going on for the past 4 races. At least he'll be able to keep his winning streak here if he can cement something here. But what a great move there from, as Maverick previously called it previously before the briefing room, the AI driver.
Yeah, and Bergie is literally pushing Layla through the slow corners, but he can't get enough of a run, or can he? Diving to the inside of turn 6, he's gonna have to brake earlier, and Layla is sent wide. Alex has a brilliant run behind them. Can Alex take advantage of Bergie's moment? Alex tries to go around the outside, that doesn't work. Alex goes for the cutback, and now Bergie sends it to the inside of Layla. Layla leaves enough gap, they almost make contact. Alex he just can't find a way through. This track is too tight.
We're going side by side with you, Sofa. This is going to be for the lead of the race, and surely this will be the moment. Miku tries to get another race winner.
Oh my god. Your microphone is cut out because Nvidia cuts out the really extreme high volume. But Marcel Miku is sent to the wall. I'm not sure. I think Juho braked too late and understeered into Marcel Miku. I think, yeah.
Thank you for telling me about the cut-off. If everyone was wondering why my voice was cut off, that was probably one of the reasons why. But that is huge momentum that has been lost for Miku, and his winning streak ends here. It seems to be officially in the Italian countryside. And now Yuho still in good condition to maybe get a win, but now Layla has been promoted up into 3rd, Sandeep to 4th, and Alex just off behind that was in contention for even this lead pack up into 5th.
Juho has gone wide. Juho has gone wide. Maverick has a run. Bergie is the inside of Layla. She's completed on the curb. He can't make the move. This circuit doesn't allow you to overtake. Bergie is literally pushing Layla. He's trying everything, but you can't make an overtake here. And the problem is, well, the good news for Marcel Miku is Juho at the front of this pack is not fast enough. Layla spins.
Layla's done right. That's heartbreak for her.
Yeah, she's
down that she's lost her podium contention here. I think it was around for the same area of the track as well, which is utter heartbreak for the Italian driver.
Yeah, Layla spins on the final corner. It means Bergie had to brake to avoid her, which means Alex now has a run going around the outside of turn 2 on Bergie, but that doesn't work. So breathing room for Maverick. Can he use this space to try to focus and attack on Juho's opponent? Because he is faster than Juho, remember, in race 1. But he just nobody can make an actual overtake. That's a problem. They're all too close on pace.
We'll say with about 12 minutes left to go, we've seen how fast Sandeep's pace was in race 1. He can repeat a feat we haven't seen back in race 1, which was 2 double race winners. That is impossibility for the British driver in 3rd if it can pull this off, and if Maverick and Yuho continue to keep on fighting, it could be in Sandeep's favor, and it's a huge possibility that we can see that here. And I think I wonder if Maverick and Yuho might know that, and is why they're just stopping the fighting just a little bit for the time being to try and facilitate somewhat of a gap between themselves and Sandeep behind. But here we go, Maverick over to behind of Yuho again for the lead of the race. Once again, almost a similar position what we see with Mika. Mika just about holds off. Yuho just about holds off for now, and just holds on for the inside line. Miku fastest start 1:21.3 and on his quest to catch back up to the further field, and Yuho just a bit sideways coming through turn 2 up for the exit. And he still holds onto the lead just for the time being. But just looking here from the back, Sandeep is nearly breaking into the 1 second gap now.
Yeah, and Maverick is clearly faster than Yuho, but like we saw in the first half of the race, Burgi was also faster than Layla, but it took Layla's mistake for Burgi to make the overtake. How a driver is going to make an actual overtake on this very tight and twisty circuit? Nobody seems to be able to find a way yet.
Not enough time as well. Don't forget to mention 10 minutes left to go. You can't really be patient in a track like this. Whenever the time is slowly ticking down, you need to be very opportunistic with your moves. As we can see, Yuho goes a bit wide. Maverick almost thought that there was an opening there. Almost looked down for the inside, but to no avail, and allows again for Sandeep to facilitate this and get all over the back of Andrew coming from the final sector. Maverick goes a bit twitchy on the exit.
Yeah, but the gap is not big enough, surely, or not small enough, surely, for Burgi to make a stand into turn 1. Marcel Miko is now firmly caught up to the back of this train, but he has Glenn Selp to deal with, and if Glenn Selp can put on a defense like he did in race 1, Marcel Miko is in a world of trouble. Maverick has to defend the inside line into turn 2 on Burgi. Can Burgi set up the exit? He's trying.
This is for P2 in race 2 as it stands. Sandeep looking for race 1 and in race 2 winning contention here, and I believe Yuho is aiming for his first win as well. Out for the final turn 5, and Sandeep is actually in very, very good slipstream of Maverick, and also facilitated by Yuho's slipstream as well. Maverick breaks the toe just to give himself a bit of leverage at least. I think just about a little bit pulls away from Sandeep. Sandeep has tried to look for the outside line. It's not going to be enough because he'll have a bit of the grippy corner. He is still going to try to make it. Will it even work? It does work. It does work. That's incredible. What an overtake there from Sandeep up into second.
Yeah, Maverick was way too nice to Burgi there, as Glenn Selk actually gets passed by Marcel Miku, so the actual top guys can make overtakes work. So now I think Yuho's opener, well, he had incidents with Marcel Miku in turn 1 before, as Alex sent it to the inside of Maverick's way later than the purple car behind him, but he's gone wide, and Alex has a run into turn 2.
Yep, gonna be good side by side, heading here through who will probably get on top. Maverick looking to try and clinch the last podium spot, especially when he was considering from before. Alex has to concede just a bit on the brakes because I think Maverick just squeezed out a bit too much of the sausage curve from the Irishman. Allows for Alex to facilitate back in, out through turn 5 they go, and Alex all over the back of Maverick. Looking down for the back, Miku has managed to overtake Glenn for 5th, and he's trying to push his way up for the field with 8 minutes left to go. A podium is still in contention for Marcel, and that's definitely what he's aiming for here.
Alex is looking to the outside, but there's no way through. Burgi has caught up to Yuho opener already. Which one of these two drivers will make the move first? Alex is literally having to lift, and he is sending to the inside and making contact with Maverick, but unfortunately, Maverick doesn't get unsettled, and Yuho's opener's line is completely wrong through the chicane. There will be a chance into turn 1 for Burgi.
Yep, Burgi, he's not done good on his exit, and that will allow to lose out some momentum from the slipstream that Yuho will get, but he's still going to make an opportunistic move, and that was never really going to happen, but fair play to Sandeep for even trying. And a similar move that we... Yeah, he is definitely trying to. Yuho has to conceive through, switch back in for Sandeep, and what a brilliant move down for turn 2 for the British driver up into the lead. But at least Yuho will still try and do something here for the first sector if he ever so can. A little bit of a collision. Oh, and Yuho goes off.
That got all very weird, because I think Virgil was trying to let Juho pass because he did hit Juho on the apex of turn 2. That's why he was able to turn under the inside of Juho. But now Juho, I think, is letting Virgil back through. But all of this means Maverick and Alex and Marcel Miku is back in the race-winning fight.
Yep, and here go Yuho stopping and looking down for the inside down for thing. What a grippy corner, late break, and maybe might make it work. Yes, holds off for the line as it stands, but this is insanity that we're seeing here.
Contact between Marcel Miku and Alex.
Alex and Marcel Miku. Yep, and Miku with a bit of contact pushes Alex a bit off and allow for Marcel to get himself up into 4th as it stands coming for the final 2 corners. And yes, it does cement. 6 minutes left to go. Still on a massive 5-car fight here for the lead.
Yeah, I think Virgil was trying to let Juho go, but they got tangled up in turn 3 last lap. This is another attempt going around the outside of turn 1. He's going to try to set it up and go as early on throttle as possible. Oh! He's hit him. He's hit Juho, and he's had to brake, and that means Maverick hits the back of, well, Virgil, because Virgil was on the brakes on the exit of turn 1 trying to wait for Juho, but all of this means Maverick has the lead of the race, and Marcel Miku is up to 2nd. He still can win this.
Yep, absolutely. And Glenn also up at the 3rd as well. And Layla, that has happened earlier, up at the 5th as well. Yuho is disconnected from the server, back into the pits that he goes. And now Marcel Miku and Maverick, this is going to be for the lead of the race now. Absolutely incredible scenes we're seeing here. And
Glenn Selk is doing his usual defending to the inside line thing, but Alex is not interested in making a move. He's bump drafting Glenn, trying to push Glenn to be as close to the front 2 as possible. He knows he needs a gap to close before he makes the overtake, because Marcel Miku is right on the back of Maverick. So Alex is trying to close the gap when Marcel doesn't have clean air yet.
Out from the final corner, Marcel's got a bit more tired than Maverick. But again, any ways to see where's this going to go. Can Maverick be able to fend up from Marcel? One of the strongest ones for the past 4.5 minutes. And that was very sideways for Maverick. Miku has to take evading action and allow for Glenn to get himself all the more closer. Maverick's missed around.
My goodness.
Oh no!
Who's in the lead? Alex is in the lead. Layla is up to P3. And where is Virgil? I didn't even see what happened to Maverick.
He's up at the 6th. He's up at the 6th, and look at this. All this calamity is allowed for Sandeep to rejoining for this lead fight once again. Absolutely incredible what we're seeing here. I cannot believe this.
Yes, it's a problem of these like mid-tier drivers, as Maverick now lets Marcel through because he knows his own spin has significantly impeded Marcel's quest for the victory. It's just that, well, before it was Juho Sopenen in the lead, now it was Maverick in the lead. It's these, well, mid-tier drivers who are in the lead and just keep making mistakes. And also, their braking point is much, or not much, but slightly earlier than those challenging for the victory. So that's why there were so many incidents into turn 1, because of their completely different braking points.
Through the final corner, these guys go. 3 minutes left to go. Alex about 2/10 faster than Glenn, and Glenn is about 1/10 slower than Layla behind. Layla has only got about 2.5 seconds off from Glenn, so I think with about this much time remaining, the best that she can hope for is P3 as it stands. But Miku with behind will have Mr. Scott in the way, and at least to facilitate a bit of the slipstream. But it is still a big fat barrier that Scoot will eventually have to leave out the way, and as it stands, Maverick and Sandeep seems to be the closest battle on track, it seems.
Yeah, brilliant run from Virgil, but he's gone terribly coming out of turn 5. It looks like Maverick has something worked out for him on the exit of turn 5, because like we saw in race 1, he gets that exit perfectly, It's the rest of the corners that is slower than his competitors. So that means Berger can't make the move. Now, I think Alex should win this race because Glenn Selk doesn't really have the pace to really challenge the win. It's about whether Layla and Marcel can close down Glenn Selk in the final 2 laps. Sideways Maverick, very sideways, but Berger is not close enough, surprisingly. I think Berger might have damage after all those contact.
I think so as well. And I think it's sort of hindering his racecraft here. 1.5 seconds left to go. And oh my word, I think we're seeing Glenn going onto the back of Alex in the closing stages of the race. He's been pretty fast, from what we can tell. And actually, looking down for the back, that's Scoot and Remsen exchanging positions up to 8th.
Yeah, Scoot has let Marcel Miku through, and Marcel Miku on the grass almost spins in front of Mr. Scoot. That was so dangerous. But that means Marcel Miku is going to not be able to challenge Layla this lap. We only have 1 lap left, and nobody seems to be close enough for now, but they can all make mistakes, because they've all made mistakes in race 2 so far already.
Here through the turn 6. And seems to be fine for now, but Marcel Miku on prime contention to maybe get a podium as it stands, and maybe not end up empty-handed here in race 2. That's still possibly contentious. Oh my word, I thought I was almost looking down from the inside. That would have been incredibly dangerous, but Layla has to just fend off from Marcel for about 1 lap. Can she do it?
Yeah, final lap, 11 corners. Marcel Miku has had incidents in turn 1, in turn 2. The guy behind, which is the left car, goes deep in turn 1, but that's okay. Marcel gets a line correct through turn 1. He's not close enough in turn 2. Layla defends the middle line though, so she will get a worse exit, but you can't really overtake in turn 3 and 4. It's all about the exit of turn 5.
Yep, here we go. The next 2 corners is going to be absolutely crucial for both Layla and for Marcel. For this corner up ahead in turn 6. Layla a bit sideways than Marcel. Marcel are going to be on the back of her, but at least Layla just a bit with a facilitated slipstream of Glenn will have enough to defend. But Marcel, I think was it backing off? I think it was.
It was a bit of lag, it seems, but now Marcel is to the inside of Layla. The contact was made. Oh, that's gonna be contentious post-race. It's aggressive,
Yep.
but Marcel was there. He was alongside into the corner, but Alex Romsix will win a absolutely chaotic race 2 if he doesn't cock up the final corner. It will be a second victory for Alex Romsix this season. Well, all he did was not get involved in any incidents. He was in P6, minding his own business, just following the lead train, and everyone in front of him had a blow-up of sorts.
I thought Sandeep crashed for a minute, my bad.
Yeah, he did. He basically just went into the wall after he crossed the line, so clearly he was very frustrated, because he could have gone into the lead if he didn't have a Juho Sopana in front of him. So yeah.
Wow. Very dramatic race that we've seen here in a track that's well, we're initially worried about, but a lack of racing service has in fact brought us one of high attrition in all of the Phoenix SimSport Championship races, I must say.
Definitely. It's so tight. You almost have to make a dive to make an overtake, and that just increases the possibility of incidents. It's inevitable, almost.
Wow. What a phenomenal race that we've seen here. Incredible racing through the last 2 20-minute races here, and 2 different race winners, and Miku with a phenomenal podium for everything that has transpired for the Czech driver. At least continues on with his podium streak, but again, it's the first ever time that he has not won one of the 2 races here in an MX5 Cup race.
Yeah, but he's now on 368 points. So his lead definitely has been cut somewhat by Alex. I'm trying to calculate the point, because Alex got second in the first race and first in the second race. So yeah, he's done absolutely brilliantly, and that's 86 points. So which means Alex is now on 280 points. The gap was 132 coming into this round. It will only be 88, leaving Magione, and at halfway point of the championship, Alex Romsix looks to be the closest challenger to Marcel Miku.
And again, that's just going to look for the championship looking all the more exciting here from this complete lopsided race, shall we say. The first 5 races in the MX5 Cup has, put on phenomenal races, and this is absolutely amongst one of them here. And it's going to be interesting to see here for these MX5s to see how they navigate through the rest of the races as it stands. That's pretty much us done for the Italian continent, I believe, since we've raced one here in Mugello and here over in Magione. And well, I must say, would you like to tell for the viewers for where the drivers are going to be able to navigate through next?
Yeah, it will be Kyalami in South Africa, one of newer tracks that will be introduced in Phoenix Sim Sport. And yes, so same time next Friday will be the MX5 series at conversion, so 7 p.m. British Summer Time and 8 p.m. Central Eastern Summer Time, if I'm correct, every Friday. And don't forget to check out the ACC and LMU streams on Saturday, as well as Tata series from Assetto Corsa every Thursday night. So that's been it from me, HC, and thank you very much to you, Amir, for commentating tonight.
No,
We'll
absolutely. Thank you very much, AC, for making my co-commentator debut here for Phoenix Sim Sport. I've had great fun commentate with you, and I look forward to do this again in the near future.
Yeah, you've been brilliant. Everyone has been brilliant. We will see you tomorrow for LMU and ACC and next week for Tatus and MX5 again. Good night.